Hey everyone, welcome to episode 16 of Universe 7, a Dragon Ball podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mason.
And today we're going to be talking about episodes 15 and 87 of Dragon Ball Super. I'm back, baby.
You're here, man.
I took a sensu bean and I'm fully healthy again.
Good job, man.
For the most part.
You did it. You don't sound like you're dying currently, so that's good.
I took half a sensu, let's say that, because I'm not totally better yet, but
I don't
I'm good
know why
enough.
you wouldn't just take the whole thing, but you know what? Whatever.
I only found half a sensu, so
you're just looking for sympathy, I think.
Nah. But we're back. We're at full strength, and thanks for dealing with me on Wednesday, you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So pretty heavy week on news, so I hear.
Yeah, a little bit of it's. I'm going to give you a quick rundown here. Some of it's spoilery, so I'm going to save a little bit of it.
Yeah.
First one is the Xenoverse DLC pack. It's probably going to be live by the time you guys are listening to this.
Right.
In case you are listening to it beforehand, it's going to drop at midnight Eastern time tonight, being the 24th. So technically, April 25th at 12 a.m.
All right.
That DLC pack is going to drop. I'm not going to get into specifics about it because it does spoil future arcs of Super. So we'll kind of get into that in the spoiler section. I'm pumped for it, though. I'm going to stay up tonight and play it.
Yeah, let me know how it is, and I'll maybe take a look at it.
I will. If any of you are on Xbox, my gamer tag is hi, my name is Neck, all one word. And add me. I'd be more than happy to kind of hang out with you guys.
My name is Kanye's Morals, and I'll play you in Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, and that's it. That's all I'm playing currently.
Sounds about right. So we got Xenoverse DLC. Chapter 23 of the Super manga has been translated by Viz. Once again, we'll leave a link to there in the description.
For sure.
And the last one is Funimation is releasing Chapter 1. Technically Chapter 1. We'll call it Part 1. Part 1 of the dubbed Funimation dub on DVD and Blu-ray in July. Yep, in July.
So that's so soon. That's actually shocking.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be picking that up as they release them.
We're
going to have a full collection here of all the Super stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pumped for that. We're definitely getting the Blu-ray. No DVD. We go Blu-ray here.
Yeah.
Universe 7, a Dragon Ball podcast.
Yeah, if you're still on DVD, you're a simpleton and a commoner.
Yeah.
Sorry. That might be a little rough.
So yeah, those are the big three. Other than that, I really don't have anything else as far as news goes. So,
hey, it's better than what we've had for the past 4 weeks, it seems like, We have something.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Good week, podcast-wise.
Mm-hmm.
We're cruising along. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, still trending upwards. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Before we get into the recap, I just have a tiny bit of spoiler-ish recap to... Not spoiler-ish, Beerus Saga recap. We got one little thing from Marissa, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay, so she says that in her mind, the reason they switched from Capsule Corp to the boat was because you can't get pudding. You can't get more pudding.
That's true.
So when they're at Capsule Corp, it's kind of a plot hole because they could very easily have
give
just...
me 10 minutes to go down the street.
Yes.
That's fair. That's super funny.
I never thought... It blew my mind.
Yeah.
I never even thought of that.
We're not as smart as her, so that's...
We're not...
Yeah, we just talk.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up her other feedback. We got a lot of feedback from Marissa.
Yeah, for sure.
This last week. So thank
you
you so much for that. Just bear with me here while I pull it up. We're kind of going on the fly here. How was your week while I pull that up?
It's pretty good, man. The week was... I mean, it's not been that long since you guys heard from us. Wednesday, we recorded our midweek podcast, so that was a lot of fun to do something a little extra. Besides that, I've been working literally all weekend long at night, so that's why we're doing this on a Monday, which sucks. I hate when we have to do it on a Monday, but you do what you got to do, right? We're here to bring you guys some content. Besides that, I've just been getting ready to have the leak in my roof. Well, I had a giant leak in my roof fist, so now I have a giant hole in my ceiling.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for my landlord to get back to me so he can actually fix it because it looks like dog shit, if I'm being honest to you. It looks terrible. And I don't know, it bugs the hell out of me just looking up. And it's like in the middle of my kitchen, so like I can't avoid it going and like leaving my apartment or even just sitting in the living room because that's visible. And I just can't deal with it. But besides that, just kind of doing housework, just kind of cleaning and hanging out with the girl. And that's about it. She's feeling better. She's not throwing up like crazy anymore.
We, I don't know if she told you, we ran into her on Sunday?
Yeah, she told me you went to...
Saturday or Sunday. Sometime this weekend we ran into her at Best Buy.
At work, right? Yeah. What'd you guys get?
Julie got a desktop.
Don't you guys have a desktop?
I have a desktop. We own for her for another thing that she's doing here, so...
Which...
We'll get into it off the podcast.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, we saw your girlfriend there. She hung out with Lucas. Lucas kept hitting her.
Hooray. He hates her.
So yeah, it was a good weekend.
Good,
my weekend, well, since you last heard me, it's really just been spent getting better.
Yeah, I bet, man.
So
yeah, you sound bad.
Today was the first day that I woke up without a sore throat, and I was able to sleep through the night, so that was good.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
I had to cloak in, so I got home at like 12 a.m. and then I couldn't sleep, and I had to go back to work at 6. So that was fun.
It sounds fun.
No, it was awful. I had a terrible day.
So I got the feedback pulled up here. We got a lot from Marissa. We're gonna split it up. We'll go with general, the ARC feedback that some more of the ARC feedback that she sent us, and then we'll go into the spoiler stuff in the spoiler section. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Hola, amigos. Excellent episode. Thank you for sacrificing the well-being of your girlfriend to bring it to us.
That's what I'm here to do, baby.
Some general comments. I like that I signed my hate mail with Love Marissa. I think the juxtaposition of the content of the letter and the sign-off makes it seem like I'm an otherwise pleasant person.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, my parents are pretty good people otherwise, so it's all right.
Yeah.
They'll believe you.
Tyler, you have to watch the episode before the show.
I know,
Come on, man. You're better than that.
We discussed it before, and then we totally forgot to kick him out when the actual spoiler section came out.
Yeah, that was actually the original plan was, okay, Ty, you're going to hop on the pod with us, and just since you've seen the dub, just watch that with us, and Mason and I can do the spoiler section.
And then we totally forgot, because I guess not really forgot, we just didn't make him leave.
Yeah, we didn't make him leave, and he just hopped in, so, you know what?
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt this time. He's catching up. He's working at it.
Yeah, we'll give him a pass, and in the future, we will not let him on the podcast unless he's watched the episode.
Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out, because that's our bad type thing.
Yeah, we're going to call that
really
the
Ty's
Marissa
fault.
rule.
That's fair.
So, okay, Battle of Gods ARC feedback. First thing on there. Yay, we're done.
Thank God.
We did it.
I'm glad that we're
I don't know how many times I've said it now.
So many.
We did it.
Man, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Goku's response to Gohan is a perfect example of why his character really bothers me. He just isn't likable as a person.
He's not.
And I know she's preaching to the Mason choir here. I love Goku, so it's...
As a human being, as a general human being, you would hate that guy. If you met that guy in real life, you would not like that guy. Well, considering...
I don't think it's that I wouldn't like him. I just think he's a big dummy.
Not big... He just...
He's a big dummy.
He's a simpleton.
Well, that blow to the head as a baby kind of did a lot.
Whatever, man. We all got dropped at one point or another. You fell down the stairs, right?
Yeah, but, I'm not a Saiyan.
Well, I mean, you're also insane, so it doesn't matter. From Earth.
All right. I like Vegeta's pride rants. He has... I almost said pride pants.
Pride pants. I do like those, too, actually.
Yeah. I like Vegeta's pride rants. He's developed so much as a character, but that arrogant prince is still in there. We saw that a little bit in this episode, too.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and I agree with you. It's just, man, we were so over the arc that it, even took away from his character development. We understand the Saint Prince pride and that type of stuff, but, we were just so over the arc that it's blah, get it through. We know, just get past it. And
everything else is pretty much spoilery. There are some questions for... as she puts, my DBZ wifey, which I'm going to hold off on talking about until we actually do the show. She's just submitting questions for her. So
yeah, for sure.
We're definitely writing those down. And actually, you know what? I'm going to pull one of them off here. It's a question for her, but it's also... it would be funny to ask you and for me to answer this.
Okay.
Would you rather fight 10 Garlic Juniors or 1 Fat Gotenks?
I'd rather fight 10 Garlic Juniors in a heartbeat.
Really?
Actually, Fat Gotenks...
I would absolutely rather fight Fat Gotenks because Garlic Jr. is immortal.
Oh, I'm just looking at who can kill me first. Because I can't beat any of them. So, probably Fat Gotenks, right? He's stronger.
Yeah.
So I think he could kill me in an instant.
I was looking at it in terms of winning, but if we're gonna be
realistic, I can't lie to you guys and say I would win. I would want whoever could put me out of my misery, and actually that'd probably be Garlic Jr. because
I'm gonna say Garlic Jr. because you know why?
Gotenks would just like play with you because he's a child.
My opinion was Fat Gotenks would like mortally wound you and then get tired and be too tired to finish you off.
Oh, that'd be a nightmare. He'd like blow your balls off and then he wouldn't actually finish the job.
Sure. I was thinking like he'd just like break your ribs and cause internal bleeding and then just be too tired to put in the killing shot, but we'll go with that one.
Whichever one that would be instantaneous.
I think 10 Garlic Juniors could kill you faster, so I'm going to go that route.
Okay, that's fine. I'm into it. Either way, they're going to kill me in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Everything else I'll leave for Julie to answer when we do that.
Sounds good.
That special episode. So one more thing from her. My husband says I'm a nut for writing all this. Got to cut down on the feedback, I guess.
Oh, no.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just have him join in. It's fine.
Yeah, I responded on the show page saying tell him he needs to step it up and send feedback.
Yeah, or if he doesn't like Dragon Ball Z, tell him
to watch it.
Tell him you're leaving him.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Tell him either if you don't watch Dragon Ball, watch Dragon Ball.
And then he'll understand.
Send us some feedback.
And then he'll understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, and Marissa's our number one fan, so
we can't lose our only fan, man.
Don't cut down on the feedback. We love the feedback. We love hearing from you, Marissa.
For sure.
So thank you so much for supporting us over the last couple months. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
Yeah, it gives us other stuff to talk about besides just the episode. So thank you.
That's it for feedback. I'm gonna go ahead and get off that page. Sorry if you guys are hearing me on the computer here. I'm jumping back and forth between a couple things.
Right.
For a while there,
we actually had a YouTube comment.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you
take it away.
It was nothing crazy. It was from a username I can't remember, but it says Frankie's first again. Let's go. So I'm assuming it's Frankie.
Frankie Vargas.
I'm assuming.
Oh, Frankie, you're the man.
I'm assuming. I could be wrong, or it could just be some guy that really likes Frankie. But
could be. Frankie's got a fan.
It'd make more sense than somebody being a fan of us.
It's true.
So
awesome, cool. I didn't know that. That's also because I didn't know that we were on YouTube
until after we posted 5 full episodes on YouTube.
At least,
yeah.
Because there's, long story short, in our podcast hosting service, there's a YouTube button that you can turn on, and I turned it on. And after a couple weeks, it wasn't working, so I stopped paying attention. And then Mason tells me a couple weeks later that it's been uploading everything we put up.
Yep, and yeah, it's on there. If you guys like to go on YouTube and just stare at a screen instead of just listening to it on an actual podcast screen.
Well, even if you use YouTube Red.
Oh, yeah.
You can. I do that with Masako X's videos. I'll turn them on.
You have YouTube Red?
I got a 6-month free trial with our Google Home.
Oh, nice.
So I'll turn on his videos and I'll just turn off my phone screen at work and listen to it like a podcast.
Is it worth it? YouTube Red?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube constantly, so actually
I would do it. As far as music goes, like I can listen to live versions of stuff that I can't get on Spotify.
That would be super nice, actually.
So yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Also, did you know YouTube TV is coming out? If we're talking about that for a minute.
No, I didn't.
It is. I think it's like 50 channels for $35.
Not interested.
No, it's streaming. It's easier. I'll do it.
I recommend Kodi to anybody who.
Well, I don't have that.
Well, it's easy. Just look it up and do it.
I don't have a Fire Stick.
You don't need one. You can put it on your computer. It's on my computer. Okay. And on my Fire Stick.
All right, I could do that probably.
So anyway, yeah, let's close up the feedback shop here.
Sure.
Do you have anything else that you want to bring up?
No, I think that's it, man. You want to jump into the recap?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in the recap. Before we do that, I just want to take a quick moment, and if you guys want to send us any feedback or anything like that, feel free to please like the show page. Mm-hmm. We picked up some more likes. I believe
close to 100, man.
Yeah, we're either 9 or 10 away from 100. So ever since I put out that desperate plea, we've actually gotten some. So thanks, guys. And for those of you who have liked the page, thank you.
Do you think they're liking it because we're so desperate?
I hope so.
Me too.
I'm not above groveling.
Me either.
So, like the show page, facebook.com/universe7pod, twitter.com/universe7pod. Shoot us an email. I know a lot of people don't email anymore, but you know what? We have an email, so why not plug it?
Yeah, if you want to write a real long letter, you could do it.
Yeah, universe7pod@gmail.com. And yeah, subscribe to the show, leave us a review, all that good stuff. Who's our sponsor this week?
Our sponsor this week is...
If you don't have one, I'll figure one out here.
Go for it, man.
Okay. Our sponsor this week is a 1.5-year-old expired Mucinex powder.
Gross.
Super gross.
Why didn't you buy different stuff?
Okay, so here's what happened. Last night, still pretty rough,
Gross,
right?
Sure.
Get ready to go to bed, and Julie's like, hey, we have this Mucinex here. It's severe cold, all that kind of stuff. You should definitely take this. I was like, all right, whatever. So I heated up some water, put in the powder, and I drank about 3/4 of it. I couldn't get it all down because it tasted terrible. So I poured the last quarter. I woke up this morning feeling pretty good. So I was like, oh, awesome. So I grabbed the daytime pack and brought it to work. And here's where it gets really, really crappy.
Sure.
I'm getting ready to take it. And I went to go look at the back to see if there were any different directions for the daytime as opposed to the nighttime.
Sure.
And I see EXP 11-2015.
That's so long ago.
It is.
Oh my god, man.
And you know what? I thought about it. I had it in my hand. I was ready to throw it away. And right before I threw it in the garbage can, I was walking to the garbage can and I go, well, I took it last night.
And that feels better.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel better. So it's probably just not working as well as it could.
And not just total, like, a shit product.
Right.
Okay.
So here comes problem number 2.
Sure.
I didn't have any hot water.
So you trying to get cold?
No.
Did you just powder it?
I poured it in a cup of black coffee.
And then you chugged the black coffee?
I tried to. I took.
That's the most repulsive thing I've ever heard.
So here's what happened. I put it in the coffee because I thought it was disgusting with water. Maybe overwhelming black coffee will drown it out. No.
Made it much worse, I'm sure.
It was like crappy expired lemon plus a hint of black coffee aftertaste. It was without a doubt the worst taste I've ever had in my mouth in my entire life.
Like, I like black coffee, but the worst part about black coffee is the aftertaste.
I don't mind the aftertaste. But that mixed with the lemon was just terrible. Like, my coworker even smelled it from across the room, from my little styrofoam cup. So I took one sip of it, tried to do another, and then I looked up to Aaron, the guy I was with, and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good. I sound good.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Rather than me being better, like 100% by tomorrow, I'll take being at 95% tomorrow and 100% the day after if I don't have to drink this. So I walked out, dumped it in the grass, and threw it in the dumpster.
That's a good choice, man, even though that grass is probably dead.
Probably.
For sure.
Well, I actually thought about that, so I poured it in dead grass because I didn't want
man.
to kill any
the
living
environment.
grass. Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, so that is our sponsor this week.
Horrifying.
Do not ever, ever take expired Mucinex in your lives, people. I'm begging you. So let's go ahead and get into the recap, sponsored by Expired Mucinex.
Valiant Mr. Satan, work a miracle. A challenge from outer space.
All right, and we're back for the recap. I love this episode.
I thought this episode was great. I'm pumped that you like it because this one was a breath of fresh air from what we've been getting.
I was thinking about it at work, and if I had to, like, in 3 words describe this episode, it was crazy, stupid fun.
Yeah, it was just like, it was silly. It was nothing that really, like, mattered, but it was fun, and it gave us something to actually like about the episode, some actual content, even though the content doesn't even matter. Just give us something. You know what I mean? Like, if this episode was scrapped, it'd be a real shame. But if it was scrapped, it wouldn't do anything to the plot line.
No.
You know what I mean? But it was just a really good episode regardless.
I loved it. I seriously, I can't think of a negative thing to say about it. I'm really going to have to dig to find a low in this episode.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I won't lie to you.
So,
which is great.
I'm
coming
glad
off all
you
the
loved
stuff.
it because
was
when I was
really
watching
good.
you watch it, I couldn't, like, get a good read. And I'm just thinking, oh, I hope you like it because I love it. And I don't want to be arguing this episode the whole time. I would rather... and it's not that we've been bagging on it so much that I'm happy to be able to praise it.
It's just a genuinely good episode.
Oh, man.
No, like, I totally get it. And I understand, like, I just understand why it's good. Like, it was just such on a downward trend. like that. I was like, come on,
Well, I mean,
give us something.
for those of you who haven't listened to our Beer Saga recap, I definitely recommend you go back and check that out. But overall, we gave the arc overall 6.5 and a 6. And when we went back and factored and averaged out all of our individual episode recaps, that's what we came out to as well. So we did not, for as good as it is to have Dragon Ball Super back on the air,
we didn't give it anything. Like, I thought we did at the beginning, but then looking back, we gave it very fair ratings for what they were.
yeah. And so to get something like this, which I'll save my number until we finish the recap,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
it's high. It's really high.
Same, man. Like you said, I can't really think of a real terrible thing about it, or even a bad thing.
So good. So good.
All right, let's get it started.
Okay, so episode starts out at Goku's house. Goten just finished eating. He thanks Chi-Chi for food. I'm just going to say food. I don't know what meal of the day it was.
It was food.
And he says he's going to Trunks' house and flies away. So then we get Goku and Chi-Chi in the house, and Goku's like, it's nice that it's just me and you now, Chi-Chi, even though I have to go to King Kai's here in a little bit to go train. And Chi-Chi's like, you're joking, right?
He's like, no.
No, why? Well, Gohan's having a baby, blah, blah, blah. You need to go back to work.
And he's like, but it was fine before Beerus showed up. You said I was going to remember the 100 million Zenny that I got from Mr. Satan?
He threw that in her face. The way he said it.
Yeah,
Because first
sure.
he's like, I'm all healed up now. I need to train for
Bigger,
next time
opponents.
against Beerus.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Chi-Chi's like, well, Goku goes, you said it was fine if I go to train with King Kai after I got that 100 million Zenny. That's exactly how he said it. Obviously, he delivered it better than I can, but
It was like a child.
the intent was there. Like, okay, he basically was calling her out on lying, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not lying, but
But now she's like, shockingly, 100 million Zenny is pretty much gone.
according to her,
It's
she explains it.
Like-
and Goku's too naive to
Actually
catch
question
it
her.
as it's going over his head.
or even like question her as to actually where the money went. He's just like, she takes care of all this stuff, so I don't know how money works.
Right, so Chi-Chi, upon getting confronted basically by Goku about that, says, oh, I didn't tell you, we spent that all already.
Yeah, she's
Which makes Goku fall over, which is pretty funny.
that's so much money.
And the way she describes it is like, well, we spent it on this, and
Gohan and Videl are having a baby, and the rest is going into savings.
which obviously means you probably have, I don't know, 100 million Zenny, you probably have 80 left. 80 million left.
Yeah.
I think they have more than 3/4
Well, I mean,
of that
like,
money
what
left.
would they spend it on? Like, they live out in the damn boonies.
Unless
I mean,
Chi-Chi's going on these vacations, which, why would you need to when Bulma's a friend of
bringing
yours?
you on vacations constantly
Yeah.
anyways. Yeah, there's no point.
So that happens, and after that, we really get to the real reason that Chi-Chi doesn't want Goku going to train. A grandchild is coming, and that grandchild needs to look up to Goku as a good grandfather, not somebody who just wants to fight and train all the
He's
time.
not a young man anymore, that's what she says. Which,
He is.
he's the same as
Yeah.
he's been for a while.
He's
so
not going to age until he hits like 80 years old.
She doesn't really know that, though.
She has to by now.
Well, yeah, but, like, she doesn't know exactly when he's going to start declining.
Yeah, true, but whatever.
But, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And
Yeah,
then
Chi-Chi gives Goku lunch, big lunch. This should be
they should
enough.
hold you over till dinner. Is that what she said?
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
And tells him to
man.
go get to work. From there, we jump to Gohan's house, and Videl's getting ready to make dinner, and Gohan's being
Is being the exact opposite of Goku, and I love it. I think it's such a good comparison of how different the two are, and that's why, just even looking back to the last episode, they just don't have that much in common.
they're almost foils of each other.
Yeah, and like it's almost like I want to say it is because, but it's like pretty much in spite of his dad that he's that way. I feel like just because Chi-Chi was always the one taking care of Gohan, Chi-Chi was always the one looking out for his well-being and actual interests, and Goku was always just looking for fighting and training Gohan.
Right.
So it's like almost in spite of him that he is the way he is.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true. I don't have anything to argue with, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is
But yeah, Gohan's being a real
He's being a good
husband.
He's being a real good
he's
husband.
Like, yeah, you need to kick up, and I'm kick back, relax, and I'm gonna go make all the dinner and all this kind of stuff.
Which I saw on Reddit. There's a good comment about it. Gohan immediately looks up how to boil a grilled cheese, foreshadowing to what happens later.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, from there we jump out to the mountains, and Vegeta. This is kind of what I was alluding to earlier.
Yeah.
Vegeta standing alone, looks like he's been training a lot out there. And he's thinking about how after the Super Saiyan God limit expired, Goku was still able to fight as a deity.
Yeah, he's like, you're not going to be able to...
You're not going to leave me in the dust this time.
No, I'm going to be right there with you. And
I'm going to surpass Super Saiyan God, Beerus, and Kakarot.
That guy's got nothing but confidence, I'll tell you that right now.
He does. Can't blame him there. That is that princely pride that Marissa was talking about.
I mean, it works for him. He kept up for as much of a prodigy as Goku is. Vegeta's kept up the entire time, and he's never been far behind him either way. Yeah,
and then from there, that's all we get of Vegeta this episode. So from there, we jump over to another scene, quick, almost like a transition scene of a spaceship in space approaching Earth. And then we get to the fun stuff.
This is like the best, man.
Okay, so I'm just going to start reading our recap here. You just jump in whenever you want, okay?
Go for it.
So Mr. Satan is hanging out. Boo looks like he's just chilling.
He ate a lot, by the way.
He did.
He had so much food on that table, and like half of it said ice cream.
Okay, so Mr. Satan is getting ready to head out to a press conference, and for some reason he calls B with
like, come on, boy.
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride.
Yeah, Chekhov's dog. I'm going to call that.
Sure.
And it turns out he tells Boo that he's just going out.
Yeah.
Turns out he's going to a press conference being held in his honor about him
saving the world.
They ask him about it, and he starts to like weave this intricate
Before we get to this, that poor woman. That woman is in such distress the entire time he's yanking that microphone away from her.
You know what? And the only reason I know this is because I listened to the Dan Patrick Show. She did her job, because when you're up there on a podium with a microphone, the last thing that you are supposed to do is give up that mic.
Yeah.
Even if, in the case of DP telling his story about this, because he's been on those podiums.
You can't control any of where the conversation goes after that.
Even like the commissioner of the NFL trying to get the microphone, you hang on to that microphone, even if it ticks him off. But anyway, back to like what you were saying.
Yeah, that poor woman. He was really going for it, and then eventually he yanks that thing out of her hands.
You know what? You can't fight with a champ that long.
No, because he's the most powerful man on the planet.
Yes,
you really think you can fight him off?
You can't. And neither could be Lord Beavis.
Lord Butthead.
Was it Beavis or Beavis?
I think it was Beavis.
I like thinking Beavis because it almost... Okay, we'll get to it. He starts explaining what happened.
Sure.
And at first, he can't remember Beerus's name.
He's like
Lord
he's the guy that goes around and he destroys planets. Pretty much just summing up what he does.
And Mr. Satan says that he learned that Earth was being targeted by this god of destruction at the crime ring. He wove it all together pretty well.
Yeah,
I mean, for his standards.
He's a storyteller.
Yes, he is. And they started fighting, Mr. Satan and Lord Beavis. And even the mighty Mr. Satan was no match for the god, which shocked the crowd. Well, how did you beat him?
Oohs and ahs. What?
And then we get the one thing that we didn't know we needed all of our lives until we saw it. Mr. Satan, in his retelling, says that a miracle happened. He became a god. And we see Mr. Satan,
turn into
mustache and all, turn into a Super Saiyan.
It's the best thing that you'll ever see in your damn life.
And he's fighting Lord Beavis, which looks like a hairy version of Beerus with like
he has bat wings and a bat, like he's got like vampire teeth. Super scary. But obviously that's not how it looks.
It's incredible.
It's the thing, yeah, like you said, it's the one thing you didn't know you needed in your life until it happened.
Right. So the crowd obviously falls for it, and they're cheering, and what do you know? That spaceship that we saw earlier lands right in the middle of the press conference.
Yeah, and
I'm not going to call it a press conference. We'll call it a rally. We're going to call it a rally, okay?
Yeah, we're going to call it a celebration of victory.
Yeah. So it lands right in the middle of the rally, and these aliens called Snackians.
They're from the planet Snack.
Yes.
Just gross.
I like snacks, but whatever.
Sure, man. That's just a weird name for people.
Okay, so the ambassador's secretary comes out and introduces himself. And he's talking... He basically says that the legend of the warrior who defeated, or not defeated...
But held the
off,
destroyer at bay.
Yeah, held off the god of destruction.
Yeah.
Lives here, and they wanted to come and send their regards, essentially.
How's a legend in like one day?
Yeah. Well, who knows if it's been one day.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
Goku did say he's done recovering. So it's probably been a couple days to a week. Let's go that route.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. They display their ultimate sign of respect, which is a creepy looking dance.
Which is before that the other dude comes out though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't. What is that guy? Is he? I forget what his like title is though. I don't know. He's just some other weird looking guy. He's blue, and he's
the ambassador.
Yeah, he's walking forward, and as he's walking forward, you can see Mr. Satan and the other three getting real scared and backing off.
Right.
And they even comment, they're like, yeah, they look really scared. Is that? And then the one guy's like, yeah, maybe we do have like scary faces. But yeah, after that, then they get to that sort of point.
Yeah, they do, to prove to them that they're not there to harm them.
Yeah,
they do this really like sexual.
It is almost sexual and almost
sensual. We'll call it sensual.
Yeah, okay.
Dance ends with them like pointing their butts out and blushing.
You could do that to Careless Whisper for sure.
Yeah, we really could. I'm gonna take that and overdub it with the music and post it on the show page.
All right, I'm in. But yeah, it was real rough.
Yeah, so they're getting ready to present Mr. Satan with the Hero's Medal, which looks really cool.
It is super
cool.
cool.
I would kill to have one.
It looks like it's worth a lot of money, and I would sell it immediately.
But the hero of Planet Snack, Galbi, wants to jump in and spar.
Sure.
Just to, see what he's made of.
Not even just that. They said he can't technically be the champion of that planet unless he actually spars with the champion of their planet.
To prove himself as a hero.
Yeah, it's just tradition.
Because, if you think about it, they could have just come and I could have said that I defeated Lord Beerus.
Exactly.
And they would have given that to me.
Just looking for a little proof. And, essentially, that is what is happening, obviously.
Yeah. So, Mr. Satan obviously does not want to do this at all because this third guy who popped out, the hero, is massive.
He's like, yeah, that guy's 250 pounds of just straight up muscle.
He even said he's 200% muscle.
Yeah.
So, he tries to get out of it by faking pain.
He said he has bowel issues.
Yeah. My bowel, I'm going to go to the bathroom and take care of this bowel issue. And he runs off, gets into the toilet, and tries to call Gohan. And Gohan is trying to boil a grilled cheese because it's not going well at all.
How is that guy so smart, but he can't cook a grilled cheese?
He's book smart, man.
Hey, man. If you're a cheese, you would teach him something.
You'd think, but you know what?
Whatever, man.
Whatever. So Gohan doesn't pick up. Mr. Satan even says, "Oh, that's weird." He always answers, "Try Vegeta. Let's call it Vegeta." No one answers the Capsule Corp. So right after that happens,
what is this? National don't answer your phone day?
Yeah. The presenter of the press conference comes in and asks, Are you coming? Are you gonna come? What's going on? It's like, oh, I'll be right out, it's a weird thing to think about in the moment, but I remember watching that and thinking, wow, whoever did whatever filters they put on his voice.
Yeah, it was echoey.
It sounded exactly like this is so weird.
He was taking a dump.
It sounded like he was taking a dump.
Yeah, for sure.
Good job, Funimation, for that. I don't know who was in charge of that.
He must have been actually taking a dump when they were recording it. Just had a little clip-on microphone, really going for it. I'll be out in a minute.
It sounded great. So Mr. Satan comes back out and he's trying to stall as much as possible. He's even praying
he's like, come on, man, why can't I get one miracle even though he's gotten a break for his entire life?
Yeah, it's like Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, just
somebody save me.
I'll even settle for that weird green guy or Goten and Trunks.
Or Krillin even jump out.
Yeah. And right when this fight is getting ready to get started, Goku is flying overhead in his farmer's gear holding his tractor.
How do people not see this?
I don't know.
There's a man flying in the sky, and he's carrying a tractor.
Yeah, okay. So, I want to take this next part, because this
here
is probably my favorite part of Dragon Ball Super so far.
Sure.
So Goku notices the crowd and sees Mr. Satan down there. It's like, oh, there must be a match going on. So he flies down, puts down the tractor, sits on top of the tractor, and is like, woohoo, yeah, go get him, champ, yeah. And Mr. Satan's like, my prayers have been answered. Runs up to Goku, asks him if he can fight this alien guy for him. And Goku's like, Chi-Chi told me I have to work.
And not even just that, he was like,
I don't want
to take all the fun.
Yeah.
Like, you can have this one. He's like, I can fight this guy anytime I want.
Which Goku believes.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, if you say so, I'll go fight this guy for
my
sure.
muscles are itching for a fight, even though Chi-Chi told me I can't trade. So
yeah.
Goku jumps onto the stage, and he's getting ready to fight. And Mr. Satan says that to fight me, you have to fight him to prove that you're worth it, which is genius of him.
Yeah, for sure.
And
don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, and Galbi, the hero,
he's pretty offended.
He's offended. He goes, "You're gonna make me fight this amateur?" And Mr. Satan even thinks like,
"Hold on, big boy.
Yeah,
you don't know what you got yourself into."
Yeah. And from there, Goku is like, "All right, come at me any way you want. Give me everything you got." And then we jump over to Chi-Chi, who is in town shopping with
Why is
Piccolo
there? I don't get it.
He doesn't know. He doesn't get it either.
He's like, why the hell am I here?
Yeah, so Chi-Chi's just got a huge backpack full of food. Piccolo following close behind with an even bigger one.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's like, why am I even here?
Yeah, and then he's like
Chi-Chi's
back and forth for a minute.
Chi-Chi's chatting about like, oh, I'm just so happy.
We're gonna have another little kid
I love feeding Gohan, and we gotta feed Videl, make sure she's eating healthy because it's the baby. And then Piccolo senses Goku.
He's like, why is Goku here?
And Chi-Chi stops, looks over at the stage, and sees
very,
Goku
very
ready to fight.
about to fight. Yeah.
And she screams at him.
Are you kidding me?
You're supposed to be at work. And Goku notices Chi-Chi, and he freaks out.
He's like, oh no.
And he runs up to Mr. Satan, tells him he has to get out of here, and he wants him to punch him in the face. And Mr. Satan's like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, do it quick, right here. And he points at his head. And Mr. Satan gets up, he's like, okay, Satan, punch, and gives the laziest punch ever. Goku pretends like it hurts real bad, staggers back a few steps, and jumps and flies while screaming like he's being thrown from that punch. No. And Sean Schemmel threw in a line here that wasn't in the Japanese, and he confirmed it on Twitter. And it was my favorite line of the whole episode. He's flying over the crowd, and then he starts flying down past the crowd and goes, oh, I forgot my tractor. Grabs his tractor, flies up over the buildings, and then before he goes off screen, he goes, oh, that really hurt. And Piccolo's like, real mature. And she's just like, seriously?
It was by far the best.
It was
scene.
perfect. I posted it on the show page because I just couldn't wait to record the podcast to talk about it.
Yeah.
I had to post it. It was so good.
I'm pumped. It was, for sure, the best part of this entire episode.
Oh, man, it's so good. So, at that point, the hero is complimenting Mr. Satan's form. He's like, oh, that was so perfect. I can't hold back anymore.
And he goes after him.
He goes after him.
Mr. Satan, being the inept dodger that he is, as we saw when he fought Majin Buu in the past,
Yep.
is dodging all this guy's punches and kicks and all this kind of stuff. And we even got the ambassador commenting, yeah, this guy really, he's
good at dodging.
He's good at dodging. He's a little unorthodox, but he's good at dodging.
But he's starting to lose the crowd because at a certain point, he's no longer dodging. He's just running away.
Yeah, and they're like, is he afraid to fight this man? Maybe he didn't actually beat this destroyer. And he's like, yeah, I gotta do something.
And he gathers up his courage, turns around, and he gets ready to just tank a punch.
And he in his mind is turning into a Super Saiyan.
He summons his divine power, as he puts it.
He summons that. He turns into a Super Saiyan, and then
in his mind, it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, we clearly see it pan away, and he's still himself, obviously. But in his own grandeur of his own mind, he thinks he's legitimately a Super Saiyan now.
And the hero throws the punch, and it stops right in front of his face. And he's frozen. And Mr. Satan's like, oh, here's my chance. And he throws a really weak-looking punch at him. And
does he have AIDS? What is he like? Why is he so slow now?
He's old. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. And we don't know what's happening. He's just frozen. Yeah. This hero, he's frozen.
Yeah, because Mr. Satan budges him. He doesn't do anything, obviously.
And Chekhov's dog is back.
I like Chekhov's dog.
Apparently, this race is terrified of dogs.
Why?
And
they're not. Are they cats?
yeah, they're like lions almost.
Okay.
They're almost like lions.
Like lions aren't afraid of dogs.
Yep. So he sees B, who had jumped up on the stage to see Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
And he gets terrified. He screams. He runs into the spaceship. And the other two are like, what is he freaking out over? And they see the
creature,
back.
I guess it does kind of look like a...
And
And
then
then
right
turns
when-
around and they're like, dog!
And-
And then they leave.
They leave.
They get the hell out of there.
Mr. Satan is
The
triumphed
savior
again.
of Earth. Oh,
Man.
man. That's him, man. That's the mythos of Mr. Satan.
Mm-hmm.
He is a legend in himself,
Absolutely.
just based on all the anomalies that have happened to that guy. He's the only man on Earth that has never died.
I'm convinced that man has like a bag full of thousands of four-leaf clovers.
I'm convinced that man is actually
God.
God. He's the Lord of everything.
He could be.
That
Very well
man
could be.
created reality because there's no way he survives everything. It's
No
just a
way.
real good acting job.
Sure, probably. So yeah, the aliens flee. The hero is cowering, saying, "You said there wouldn't be any dogs," and that's the last we're ever going to see these guys.
Pretty much.
We jump back down to Earth.
And B's holding a little medal.
Yeah, everybody's cheering Mr. Satan. He won. He's got his rep back, and he's got his medal. Awesome. From there, we jump back to Goku's house. It's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Chi-Chi and Goten are in the house. Goten's like, "Oh, Dad's out really late." And Chi-Chi's basically says he better not step foot in this house until all that work is done.
Right.
He'd be stupid to do so. Goku's right outside the window. And it's like, "Oh, man, I'm so hungry."
Yeah,
It looks like
I'm
I'm
sleep outside tonight.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's good, man.
It was
That's
good.
a really good episode.
I'm
I'm pumped. I'm back into it.
9.5. I can't give it a 10 because it's not perfect, but I'm going to give it a 9.5.
I'll be right there with you. I'll give it a 9.5.
So good. What was your high?
My high, I'll leave your high to you because I know what
You
your
know what
high
mine's
is.
going to be.
My high is actually just the difference between Gohan and Goku. I think that was the most interesting part of the episode. Just because
fair.
we haven't had anything that's... Like, we have, but nothing that's so back-to-back that it's so blatant that it's just handing us on a platter the difference between the two.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of cool. And it's not like a bad thing for Goku. It's just giving us how different they are, because that's what we need, because everybody wants Gohan to be Goku, I think.
You think?
Well, they definitely used to.
Yeah, I don't think we do anymore. I think now we appreciate
Gohan for who he is.
Yeah.
I think some of us do. But I think this is just more to distinguish that he is just his own guy. And I think that's a really cool character development for him that, like, we obviously don't need, but it's just there to, I don't want to say fill time, but give us more information, I guess. So
Yeah,
I guess that was my biggest high.
Okay, any lows?
Low. Oh man, it's gonna be hard. Goten's voice drives me up the wall.
I don't mind it. I've
I
accepted
don't know
it.
what it is, man. It's something about it that is just so irritating to me.
It's fair. Okay, my high is definitely going to be the tractor.
For sure.
That tractor line. Goku getting punched in the face and then, I forgot my tractor.
That is so good.
I'm not going to fawn over it anymore. I've spent enough time doing that. You guys get
I like
how much
that they're
I love
able
that scene.
to have just like the freedom to use, like, that the voice actors have the freedom to do that now.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have it in Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball.
They didn't. They changed stuff, but they...
But it wasn't like any impromptu decisions. It was all just like changes. Like, that's obviously something that was just very clearly thrown in there. And the same with the Yamcha comment from Vegeta.
Oh, yeah, let's go say hi to Yamcha.
Like, those things clearly wouldn't have happened in Dragon Ball Z. So I think it's cool that they have a little bit of leeway with what
There's
they
some
do.
fan service there. For
I
sure.
love it. I think it's great. And that's what this whole series is about, almost, is fan service.
I wouldn't go that far.
It
but
kind of
I
is.
I think that the series is more okay with fan service.
Yeah.
Because it knows...
That it's back for that sole reason a lot of the time, because it is. Like, there's no reason for
Well, we
Dragon
know
Ball
it's-
to ever come back.
We know it's
besides
back
fan
because of the
service.
fans, but I don't think they're making their writing decisions based
solely
on what
for
the fans...
that. But yeah, like you said, they're more okay with doing it because that's the biggest reason why it is back, though.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
I think we're defining it two different ways. So anyway,
yeah,
that would be my high.
that's awesome.
My low, I guess, would be, I don't know. I just don't like seeing Chi-Chi being upset all the time. I like Chi-Chi as a character. So.
Yeah, Chi-Chi's great. Like, she had great development going forward until Super, and now she's just
Chi-Chi.
She's just some lady that lives in his house.
Yeah, that's my low. It's not really a nitpick. I just had to pick something. I didn't want to give you nothing.
Yeah.
So
it's just sad more than anything else.
Yeah,
for her.
I loved the episode though.
That's
I hope
good.
you guys did too. Let us know what you think. Facebook, Twitter. Let us know, because I really want to hear you guys' feedback on this episode.
Yeah, if you thought it was bad, let us know why, because I really can't think of like a real single thing why it was actually a bad episode.
Other than people saying, I hate filler. It's
not filler. Like, it's filler, but it's good filler.
I was thinking about it earlier today, and I consider it a trend. This is kind of spoilery, but every arc here that we're getting,
we get
in between them, we get It's exactly what I call them, transition episodes.
And that's what they are. I mean, like, you have a transition for everything. Like, if you just jump from one thing to another, that would be so choppy and gross. Like, you would hate it. You wouldn't get any development from one arc to the next. It would just be like how we jumped from... Not even that, because even after we jumped from Z to Super, we got something in the beginning of that, too.
Yeah, we got transition there.
But...
We got exposition there.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. If you were playing them back to back, it could be considered a transition
Exactly.
episode.
But if you didn't get that, you wouldn't have a freaking clue what was going on. You just have this guy on Earth and be like, okay,
right,
what happened in the years prior?
Yeah, so if you guys think it's filler, in our opinion, it's not. If you really do think it is, let us know why. Let us know why we're wrong. So
sure.
That's all I have for the episode proper. Do you have anything?
No, that's it, man.
Okay. For those of you who don't want to listen to spoilers, feel free to check out. We'll be back next week to cover episode 16.
There it is.
It's going to be really good. I'm not going to give you any spoilers in the preview or anything like that. If you want to do that, go look it up yourselves, because I'm not going to be the one to spoil you guys. So we'll be back next week for that. We're going to go ahead now and get into the spoiler section. And our sponsor this week is PETA.
PETA?
PETA.
Like, why?
Because, and there's a good reason for this.
Go for it.
Animals.
Sure.
The protection of animals. The people for ethical treatment of animals.
Okay.
Also known as Android 17.
That's him. He's all of PETA.
He is PETA. That's all PETA needs is 17.
Apparently, from what we see in this episode.
Yeah, so guys, don't be mean to animals.
Android 17 will come kick your ass.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you not to eat meat. I get it, I eat meat. But you know what? Think about it.
If you abuse animals, don't.
Don't. If you abuse animals, you should be abused yourself.
That's PETA's slogan. If you abuse animals, don't.
Mine is if you abuse animals, you deserve to be abused yourself.
Yikes.
I'm going to go hardline on that. I'm very passionate about animals.
If you abuse animals, you would deserve to be
an animal
on a United flight.
Or a Southwest flight.
No,
so anyway,
it was American Airlines.
No, there was another one that has.
Oh,
American. Yeah, you're right. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the spoiler section, sponsored by PETA.
And United Airlines.
Okay, and we're back for the spoiler section. Okay, we got a ton of good stuff here for you guys. Before we get into the recap, I'm going to go ahead and read off the spoiler feedback that we got from Marissa.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we're going to get into some really good stuff that I'm really excited about. Okay, so Universe Survival Arc feedback. Beers is moping. I know they're actually like 70 episodes apart, but when you made the comments like 15 minutes apart, so no excuses, during the Battle of Gods arc, we said all that Beerus does is eat, sleep, and watch anime. Mm-hmm. Now he's on Earth eating and sleeping a bunch, and you're reading into it as hopelessness. That seems to be like his normal life based on Whis' earlier comments, which is true.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it more on the lines of him being super pessimistic. I don't think he's super pessimistic as a character.
He's just lazy for sure.
Yeah. So I agree and I disagree there.
But he's also, like he was just saying, pretty much that this could be his last meal. Yeah. Is what I took it as.
And I'm not gonna lie.
Fair enough. That's fine.
Dude, if I knew that I was gonna be wiped out in a week, I would spend all my money on like just
terrible food.
Because why not?
I'd probably just drink myself to death.
Big Macs, Pietro's Pizza, Portillo's.
Okay. I can go with one of those three.
Yeah. Pietros?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, 17. This also bothered me a bit. I don't know why you were so surprised that regular Super Saiyan form for Goku wasn't enough to beat 17 when the Super Saiyan form for Vegeta against 18 had her tossing him around like a rag doll.
Because they're leaps and bounds different now.
They're so much stronger than they were back then.
Even like
I know power scaling's all out of whack, but
yeah, but like even if we're looking back of like we just talked about with the whole Beerus thing, even though they're 70 some episodes apart, we also got Goku being stronger as a Super Saiyan last episode than he ever has been before.
Right.
So I mean the power scaling is just way different, and even going forward a little bit,
even
when Krillin asks Goku to punch him in the face and he almost kills him, like it's just, like it's not even comparable to how strong they used to be. It's not the same. So I don't agree with that.
yeah, I don't either in the slightest, actually, because I was thinking about it too. Goku is able to go toe to toe with training for 4 months, final form Frieza
In base
form,
Yeah.
which, and if we're looking at it in terms of the regular Super Saiyan form, hasn't changed since
It's
the
a
Frieza
50
saga.
times multiplier.
Well, I'm not going to say the Frieza saga, since he perfected that in the Cell saga.
Yes.
There's no reason that base form Goku should be able to keep up with Frieza if
Base Goku can keep up with Cell at this point in time. Like he would beat Cell.
Yeah, I think base Goku could stomp Cell at
Yeah.
this point. So I don't agree there, because I think that, like you said,
Just leaps and bounds ahead of where they were before.
yeah. So 17 being able to hold up with that Super Saiyan form,
Is actually legitimately shocking to me. I don't
like think about it this way: if what Vegeta said was true in this last dub episode, and Goku's Super Saiyan form has been able to retain that
deity sense almost.
godly power, Vegeta wouldn't be able to keep up with that.
Right.
So what this is, if you're comparing it, I know it's not apples to apples here. Android 17 in his current state would have been able to stomp Vegeta still at the beginning of...
Even in his Super Saiyan 2 form.
Because he's able to keep up with that Goku that had already left
Surpassed
Vegeta in the dust
the
there.
Super Saiyan 2, even anger version of Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta.
So that's what shocked us there.
Yeah, so it's almost like... Honestly, it's a whole mess either way.
Yeah, like we said, power scaling
It's
is
a
all out of whack.
whole mess, because we're not going to say that Android 17 could have been the one to be up there fighting Beerus, you know? Like, it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. The more you think about it, the more it doesn't make sense. The less... Find that spot where it makes sense for you and just stay there.
Yeah, and
that's
then
what I
don't
do.
think about it anymore, because it's going to infuriate you.
Exactly. Okay, moving on. Well, unless you had anything else to add.
No, that's all
All right,
I got.
moving on. Piccolo did so much for Gohan early in DBZ. Yes, Whis is the master. This is what Tyler was talking about. He wanted Whis to be the one to train Gohan.
Yeah, and then I had the counter position for sure.
Yes, Whis is the master, but I'm excited for what Gohan and Piccolo achieved together. Piccolo is also fused with Kami now, and he wasn't when Gohan was a child, so that adds to his knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, Kami trained Goku when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having that knowledge it's going to be... Gohan's going to get so much out of this training from Piccolo. Like I said before when I was talking with Tyler, it's not about the strength of Piccolo, it's about the expertise. And about how much he trusts Piccolo in that short a time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, like, that's really the only argument I have for that. And I think it's a pretty good one.
I agree. You said something along the lines of 17 and Goku never met. They never even fought. The wording was funny there, and she kind of called us out on this.
Sure.
Since the statement never even implies that it's the most basic form of interaction.
It almost is.
So how we really should have said it was they've never fought.
And they've never even met.
They've never even met. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Don't get me wrong. But it's almost kind of true, and it almost could be said in that statement.
Yeah. So for Saiyans, actual introduction is a higher level of interaction than fighting.
Kind of.
It's true. Final thoughts. It's annoying to me that Goku is telling some people to stakes and not others. Tell Vegeta, Krillin, and 18.
Seriously, though. You're not wrong about that.
You're not, but they're doing it for plot reasons, and I've accepted that.
Yeah, man, you accept too easy.
Yeah, they're setting up a big reveal. So I'll come back and really give judgment on that after it's revealed to see, and this will kind of go back into what we would do differently for stuff we didn't like. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. If it works out better with them withholding it and seeing the drama, rather than
could have, and then just like getting like the single reaction from one person at a time.
Right.
Okay.
Like I don't want to. I hope we don't get to a point where it's like, oh, the reveal wasn't that climactic. They probably could have just told people as they gone. So yeah, that's our spoiler feedback. Okay, here we go.
All right,
guys, we have the English dub voices for Zamasu and a revised Goku Black.
I'm excited. I haven't heard it yet.
Mason hasn't heard these. I've heard them, and I've pulled clips, so we're going to play them on the podcast, and Mason is going to react to them as we go here. So, you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Who do you want to hear first?
I would like to hear Black.
Okay. I'm going to give you the headphones.
Okay.
And we got 3 of them here.
Sure.
So, we're going to go right in a row with all 3 of the examples that I pulled out of Black's dialogue. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go.
Well, what do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful? I have made Goku's power entirely my own.
Man.
How dare you defy a god?
What do you think?
That's excellent. He's saying it in a different dialect too.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
That last example, it was probably my favorite because you hear...
He almost sounds like Beerus.
A couple people pointed that out, but you hear our Goku in there too.
Yeah, for
More
sure.
than the first 2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you definitely can tell that it's Goku, but it's almost in like the same, like, because gods have like a dialect that they speak in, and I think that like it sounds like Beerus almost.
It's good.
It's super good. I'm so pumped. I was gonna be so sad if it was gonna be angsty Super Saiyan 3 again. That is so good. And that's only for, like, just Xenoverse. And you know that Xenoverse isn't as good as the actual dialogue. Right. So it's gonna be even better.
There's, like, a full minute worth of stuff. I picked my favorite 3. I'll put a link in the show notes for the whole video.
That's so good.
You ready for Zamasu?
Yeah. This better be good. I'm excited for this one.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
My ideal world draws one step closer. I will rid existence of all that I deem evil. A mere mortal would defy the will of the gods.
All right, what do you think?
I'm not as high on it as I was Goku Black.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, it's a little disappointing just because of how much I do like the Japanese style, or the Japanese voice actor. But I'm going to reserve judgment until we actually get there, because this is a whole new voice actor for this character too. And we have a little bit until we even get to that point. So it might adjust still. I have super high hopes for Black, though.
This is great.
I wish you would have told me to do that one last. It feels anticlimactic now. I wish you would have just made that executive decision.
I know. I wanted to let you pick.
Man, I'm pumped. That is the best news I've had all month.
Right?
God. It is like... I never really thought about how Beerus speaks as a dialect, but it is a dialect of how the gods speak, and I think that's going to be kind of...
You mean like as far as the tempo and the cadence of how they talk?
Exactly.
I hear more of the actual Beerus voice, and I guess I agree with you there.
That's what I mean. Like, it's sort of, but like that's just how the accent is almost.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be shocked if that's how... Obviously, Chomp is different because he's, like, super nauseating to listen to sometimes. But I wouldn't be shocked if, like, when we get to the Universe Survival arc, if that's how a lot of the gods sound.
That's fair, yeah. I'm excited.
Me too, man. That was... I'm so shocked. I thought that was going to be not nearly as good as I thought it would be.
They did a good job making Zamasu's and Goku Black's voice different enough, because what I was thinking was it's almost got like a pompous English accent to it,
like a Cockney,
that I was worried that you would I heard the Goku Black voice first, so I was like, oh man, I hope they don't do the same thing with Zamasu, because then it's going to be a no-brainer who Goku Black is, because that was a big part of the arc, was the mystery of who he was,
right?
And I think it's different enough for us to kind of, when it airs, for us to think, okay, who is this guy, and not know right off the bat when we get introduced to Zamasu later, oh, it's this guy for sure.
Yeah.
Like, even when we watched it in the sub, it's like, Oh, okay. So
We were like,
Beerus and Whis think this is black, but Goku
but like we were
doesn't,
never
so
really convinced until we actually like we had like a pretty good inkling, but we didn't know how and why it was the case even.
I didn't know until
it actually happened.
the reveal.
Yeah, I mean nobody actually knew. It could have been anything for sure, but I don't know. It was definitely like that big air of mystery because like the voice acting was so good.
Yeah.
And you just really didn't know what was going on the entire time. They did a really good job.
I'm pumped. I'm excited. We could talk on this all day, but let's just cut this there.
All right, fair enough. Let us know what you guys think, because that is some amazing stuff.
Yeah, if you don't like it, let us know. If you like it, let us know. All right, let's just go ahead then and get into the recap. All right, title of this episode was Hunt the Poachers, Goku and Number 17's United Front. Okay, compared to last week's episode, how much did you like this one? Because you were super high on last week's.
I liked it, not as much as last week's.
No?
No.
Okay.
It was good. I really enjoyed them fighting last week, and we didn't get that this week. Like, it was cool enough to see them interact, but I really enjoyed last week's episode. But I still enjoyed it.
I liked this one's better.
Really?
Yeah. And I'll
get there why.
Yeah, I'll get into the reasons why later, but let's just go ahead and start the recap. I know we're running a little bit long here. All right, Android 17 declined Goku's offer last episode. We saw that. Mm-hmm. Goku in this episode, when we start, is still persisting, and even 17's like, "You're
really persistent about this."
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yeah, I need this. Like, I need you to fight."
Yeah,
is what he says.
He tries to persuade him again, saying that this time the prize is Dragon Balls. But they're not just any Dragon Balls, they're the Super Dragon Balls, and you can essentially wish for anything you got. He gives the backstory about how they're as big as planets, all that kind of stuff, and 17 starts to think about it. I was glad we didn't get a decision here from him, because I was like, because he looks like he's about to say yes.
He was mulling it over, for sure.
And I was like, really? Are we going to just
jump right into it?
Yeah. 30 seconds into the episode, he's like, oh yeah, I'm in.
And be like, come on, man, why would they just do that last episode?
Yeah, just throw it in the last 30 seconds of the episode and have fun in this one.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen because that spaceship that we saw approaching last week is here. Mm-hmm. And it flies right over them, and it starts...
Before we do that, though, he was saying what his wish would be.
No, that comes later.
Oh, that does come later. I'm sorry.
So the spaceship is flies in.
That thing's huge, by the way.
It's massive.
It's like the size of a continent.
It uses its tractor beam to really
pull up every single animal on the island.
Very efficient poachers. Very efficient.
Yeah, they get in, they get out, the job's done.
Yeah, PETA would be very upset with them. 17 and Goku realize what's going on, and 17 jumps to fly and stop him, and Goku follows, and 17's like, hey, are you going to help? Goku's like, yeah, okay. Well, not, yeah, okay.
He's like, yeah, I got it. Sounds fun.
I'll come along for the ride. They try to get to the tractor beam and get in the ship. They're not fast enough, which is kind of surprising in its own right. We don't really see that very often.
They were just kind of like half-assing it though. They weren't like really going.
They're cruising.
Yeah.
They're on cruise control. Before the ship gets too far away, Goku has 17 grab onto him and uses instant transmission to get into the ship.
Why do you think that he was like, before they hit space, I needed to grab onto me? I
think
the power levels weren't high enough? Or
I think the farther away the ship goes, the less
you can sense somebody
to lock onto. Yeah,
because like obviously, as we see later on, these people are not strong.
They're not strong, and I think the big reason too, other than them not being strong, is that everybody's energy seems to have its own signature, which is why, like, even later in the episode, Krillin notes that Goku is going farther away.
Right.
These people aren't people that Goku knows, so their energy is foreign, so it's harder for them to lock onto, which is why Goku, when he first demonstrated instant transmission, he was able to lock on all the way across the world because it's an energy that he knows like the back of his hand.
Right.
That's what I thought, but I could be wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah, before the ship gets too far away, they teleport onto the ship. And there are a bunch of poor little animals in cages.
A lot of them from a lot of different planets.
Planets.
There's tons of these guys, man. These guys are hardcore poachers.
Yeah, it's not good. An alarm sounds, and the soldiers in the spaceship head to where Goku and 17 are to
Mm-hmm. And Goku
Take care of
just
business.
shouts at them and they fly into the wall pretty much.
And she like put his hand out.
Yeah,
and,
no, but like
a key blast cannon in Xenoverse.
yeah, but I thought of the Sandman Saga was sick. That guy just that guy just yelled at them. Some guy just yelled at these guys.
Goku she takes out 2 of the soldiers. 17 warns him, don't break the ship, because if the ship breaks, all the animals die.
Goku's like, yeah, I know, man.
Yeah, he's not stupid. This isn't his first hypothetical rodeo. Goku starts the fight. 17 tells him, yeah, don't destroy the ship, blah, blah, blah. And back on Earth, Krillin
and 18.
Yeah, go ahead and take that one.
Krillin is commenting how, like you were saying earlier, man, Goku's energy has moved farther away. And then
18 senses the same thing.
Yeah, 18's like, yeah. And then she seems actually really worried. And Krillin's like, hey, what's going on? Like, why do you seem so worried about this thing? And she comments, they're too much of the same person. They both have such an immature side.
Which is funny because I never thought about 17 that way, but I guess 18 knows him better than we do.
And he does. Like in Z, we got it. Like how he's just like, let's just go get a car and we'll just drive.
It's true.
Like he's always been kind of like immature. I think the Japanese voice makes him sound more mature. But I was imagining him saying it in the American dub voice.
I was doing the exact same thing.
And it was like, yeah, that guy is crazy. Like I could see him saying this and like just being like a real like smart ass about it.
Yeah. I thought it's funny you said that because I was doing the same thing. I was reading the subtitles and hearing it in 17's voice.
I was actually hearing it in
the bridge.
Team Force. Yeah, that's pretty rough. But yeah, like he is sort of an immature guy compared to 18, who just wants to get the job done a lot of the time when they're talking about killing Goku.
And essentially, what 18's worried about is that how she puts it is Goku
Are they just
and
gonna go play instead of like getting ready and like.
Which I don't get it. I had a problem with this because they don't know the stakes. Why are they so worried about them playing?
Because that's just bad writing. That's it.
Like that would be something that they would say if they knew the stakes.
Yeah.
Did they forget? Did the writers forget that they didn't know, or what's going on?
For sure, it's just bad writing.
It's
always been like it's always been like that with Toriyama, and it's not even Toriyama now, but like it's just always been like that with Dragon Ball. Like people just forget things.
Yeah. So we jump back to the ship. All the soldiers are defeated, and 2 more show up. 17 tells Goku, like, these are yours. I'm gonna go take the boss.
And he's like, hey, come on, man. Like, why do you get the strongest guy? This doesn't seem fair. Yeah. And 17 kind of like these guys are like, hey, we're strong. We'll like kill you. And then 17 kind of pulls a fast one when they kind of attack him, jumps over him, and he's like, you got these guys, Goku.
Before that happens, Goku tries to play rock, paper, scissors with 17 to pick.
He's like, don't be so childish. Like, well, come on, man. We're older. We're better than this, pretty much.
Yeah, 17 gives him the shake and goes to fight the big boss while Goku is... he's stuck with them, and he's not happy about it.
Well, he's just like, all right, whatever. He's like, just to warn you, I'm really strong.
Which is cool. I love when Goku pulls stuff like that.
Yeah.
17 finds the boss.
And the boss is mulling over, oh, I got the Minotaur. It's worth a lot of money.
The Minotaurus. Get it right.
Yeah. Well, that's just the translation. It'll be a Minotaur when it comes to the dub.
Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't. I don't think so.
I think it will.
I don't, because a Minotaur is a man with a bull
You think it's
head.
going to be a...
Minotaurus, yeah. Because it's like a dinosaur.
You're going to think it's going to be like a Minotaurus, like Pokemon?
No. Minotaurus.
Minotauros.
No.
Yes.
Save it for the Pokemon podcast. Poacher Boss asks the 17's alone because he thinks that, I guess, if you're alone, this is going to be easy.
Doesn't make any sense.
17's like, yeah, I'm usually alone, but I have a temp with me. Yeah. Which is funny.
Right.
And kind of a callback to earlier, we didn't mention it earlier in the recap, but he tells Goku that you're not going to get paid for this.
Right. Yeah. But I read that in 17's voice and it's like, I got a temp with me today.
Yeah.
And like it's
it makes me excited to hear the dub.
I love that character. It's gonna be so long before we hear it.
I know, 1.5 years.
So long.
But Poacher Boss summons 2 of his henchmen
and they deal with 17.
Pretty much.
That's pretty cool.
And he asks if 17's scared, and 17's like,
do you know the reason why I protect this entire island by myself? because I'm enough. Like,
Such an awesome line to say.
Yeah, and then he's like, get this guy, come on. And then these guys attack him, and obviously 17 beats the hell out of him. And this
Game
guy's
over.
super scared, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, 17 goes in, gives him a swift kick.
Yeah.
Gives him a good one, sends him into his little computer thing.
Yeah, he tells him, return the animals that you've poached to their planets, and I'll have mercy on you, essentially, is what he says.
Yeah.
He's not having any of that, though.
No, he's like, this is for money, man. Like, money makes the world go round.
Yeah, and Goku finds 17, and like you said, 17's in the middle of interrogating the poacher boss. Asks him why he's after the Minotaurus, and he's like, yeah, money makes the world go round.
You know what drove me nuts? That guy's not from that planet. Why is he saying money makes the world go round? And also saying, how much you need? 20 million, 30 million, like he's from Earth. Like he's going to pay these guys off. And like the reason he's doing this is because he's buying like a yacht or something.
Well, I don't think he had any intention of paying them.
Not at all, but like what I'm saying is like that was such a...
He probably did his research. These are very shallowly written characters.
Yeah.
These one-off guys.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm not going to say that they did his research or whatever.
Sure,
Suspend
let's
your
just
disbelief for it.
Let's put a backstory to him of our own. He did his research.
He did his research before he came to
Sure.
Earth. He realized that the way the world is, and
They like money.
yeah, we all like money. That's how stuff gets done. So that's why.
20, 30 million, you can have them all.
And 17's like, nah, man, I'm good. But then, call back. 17, right before he's about to strike, unfortunately, that boss pulls out a self-destruct button.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very reminiscent of Dr. Gero. Planning to turn him off. And 17, I'm surprised didn't get PTSD.
Well, I mean, 17 was quick enough to grab it from Gero, the remote.
The last time we saw him, but
Yeah.
they've been turned off before.
Have they?
Yeah, they turned him because they knew who he was, and he turned him off before. Remember
then
that he said, "Remember that
he
switch
was-
they used to turn us off?" Where's that?
He was fast enough to get it from Gero, old man Gero, android Gero, fast Gero.
Yeah,
But he's not fast enough to get it from this guy.
plot devices, man.
Whatever. So he's threatening to blow himself up with the entire spaceship. Goku is horrified.
He's like,
The entire time this is happening, I'm waiting. I'm like, Goku, just use instant transmission.
Right?
Teleport behind him.
Right?
Grab him, and we'll get there.
blow his head off.
Okay. Sure. From there we have this tense standoff essentially. Mm-hmm. And Goku yells no, and the guy presses the button, and the ship goes boom.
Kaboom! Shocking, right?
Yeah. Apparently this is a Beerus dream, because Beerus wakes up right in that moment, freaking out that
He's like, I had a dream that Goku died, and like, if we're being honest, Goku wouldn't have died. Come on.
yeah, probably not, but yeah, he wouldn't have.
There's no stakes in this. Like, yeah, the animals would have died, and that would have been super sad. But like, come on, we know he's not gonna die.
Yeah, this mini arc is the Goku survival arc, and we all know how that's gonna end.
He's gonna survive.
Yeah. This when he woke up and screamed though, it made Bolo very angry.
Yeah, and then Vegeta gets pretty pissed off, and he's like, God, these gods are like,
This isn't a hotel.
yeah, like, this isn't some cheap hotel. Go take your nap and screaming somewhere else. Like, we've got kids here to worry
Yeah,
about.
but Goku, Beerus thinks his dream about Goku
It's a
is
bad omen! It's a bad omen! Ugh.
accurate impression.
It's a nightmare, though.
But we go back to real time, and that didn't happen. Like, because
Obviously.
it was a dream. He tries to...
It's the same things going on. It's the standoff.
Yeah.
This guy is just...
He's saying that...
I've got this thing. It's implanted in my body, and
Right.
I'll blow myself up before I give up these animals, pretty much.
Pretty much. And
Which is a nonsense thing to say, by the way.
It's super stupid, but hey man, when that's the only card you can play it.
Or you just give the animals back and then just go poaching a bunch of other ones.
True, but...
Easy enough, right? It's not like they're turning
we
me
have
into
to
the police.
We have to get 17 on the team somehow.
You're right.
So 17 thinks about it. He tells Goku to protect the animals and give his regards to his family and his sister before he
Apparently he tries to commit suicide.
he kicks the boss out of the ship, taking him with him.
Yeah.
So 17 and this boss are in the vacuum of space. The the entire inside of that spaceship, or at
Turns
least
into
that
a
room,
vacuum, for sure.
is a vacuum Goku's trying to stay in.
You know what makes me upset? That he has to resort to Super Saiyan God for all this stuff now. It's making it seem so cheap.
I don't think so.
Just be normal.
I don't know. I like the transformation, so I'm okay with
I
the
understand,
music,
I like the but why are we cheapening it? Like, we've seen it so much now in the past few episodes, or not few episodes, just like in general. It's like sometimes you just gotta save it, especially when we know we can just turn Super Saiyan at will too. Just do that. Like, don't cheapen the God mode just for for the vacuum of space. Come on.
I disagree with you because I don't think Super Saiyan Blue is that prime rib. Super Saiyan Kaioken Blue is.
It is currently, but
So I don't care. I would be more annoyed if he was using Kaioken Blue all the time, not Super Saiyan.
but that turns Vegeta into a sideshow.
I don't care.
Like, that's ridiculous. That like his transformation that is one of the most powerful in the universe doesn't mean anything now, or in most universes.
It isn't the most powerful thing in the universe. He can scale that down however he wants.
I'm just saying, why wouldn't you just use the normal Super Saiyan form then? It just does seem cheapened to me.
Yeah, I disagree, but anyway. Goku turns Super Saiyan Blue, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Jumps out of the ship. Well, he doesn't jump out of the ship. He uses instant transmission, finally, to catch both of them.
And we get the best callback that's happening forever. He takes them to King Kai's planet. This guy that's threatening to blow himself up. And the reason that he gives King Kai, the reason why he brought this man that was going to blow himself up, he's like, well, I did this with Cell. Why wouldn't I do it again?
It's totally cool, right?
It's like, come on, man. It's so funny. Like,
King Kai's like...
He's like, just because, like we're not like a bomb disposal unit. Like, you don't just come here and blow my planet up as you wish.
And Goku's like, you're already dead.
So, like, what does it matter? He's like, just because we're dead doesn't make it less scary and, like, make me not have a home anymore.
Oh, man. It was so funny.
I didn't expect that at all. I thought he was just going to instant transmission out.
Back to the ship. I thought he was going to instant transmission back to the ship and deal with it.
Well, I thought that he was going to instant transmission out when I first saw it, grab 17, and then just go back.
Right?
Seems easy.
Yeah, but he's not a killer.
Well,
cold-blooded killer.
That's not cold-blooded. That's that guy killing himself.
Yeah.
But I was so pumped to see that he brought him to King Kai's planet. That was so funny. Like, that is the best callback. And honestly, even though as it moves along, we discover that he doesn't actually have a device implanted in his head because Dende...
Spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. Dende uses his god...
His banana phone.
Yeah, his banana phone. That's the one. And tells Goku, this guy is lying. He doesn't have anything implanted in his head. Goku's like, thanks, Dende. Pretty sick being a god, right? Yeah. Pretty much. And, yeah. Well, 17's like, press the button. And the guy's like, I can't
Well, first,
move.
King Kai's freaking out. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's not strong enough to walk in the gravity here, so it's no problem. And like you said.
Yeah, and 17's like, press the button. And the guy's like, I can't move. And 17's like, press the button. And this guy's like, okay. Yeah, he's like super scared. Presses it, confetti comes out, all this stuff. And he was like...
Streamers came out of his nose.
Was it out of his nose?
Yeah.
I didn't look close enough.
He had rainbow streamers come out of his nose.
I was watching on my phone, so I didn't look that hard. But yeah, that happened. He was like, yeah, we had a surprise party later, pretty much. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I was actually hoping they would have blown up the planet. I won't lie to you. Because it would have just been such a good gag to have happen again. It's like... They first, earlier, they forgot to, or they didn't wish him back even, and then they just blow up his planet again. I wish they wished him back and then blew up his planet again.
That would have been so funny. You have this little side story in this episode where, Gohan randomly gathers the Dragon Balls and wishes King Kai back for some reason. Yeah, or Piccolo would probably be the
one. Or even that one time, you remember when they were collecting Dragon Balls?
It would have been fun. I know what you're going to say, but it would have been funnier if it would have been
just a random one-off thing.
Well, I thought it would have been funnier if it just happened. King Kai just got brought back to life and then boom.
That or the episode before would have been gold. Goten and Trunks did it for some reason. It's let's get the Dragon Balls. And they're trying to find out, figure out what the other wish would be. And they're like, Goku's like, oh, just wish for this. And then he gets killed the next episode because Goku's an idiot and doesn't remember.
That would have been great.
And like he even says, "You're dead. What does it matter?" And he's like, "You just wish me back, you idiot." And then the guy just kills him. I'd lose my shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's get back to the episode.
Sorry.
Somebody out there, if you were really good at drawing, draw that scene for us, because that would have been hilarious.
Animate it.
So we go back to the island. The ship is basically quarantined by Jocko.
Yes.
And he thanks Goku and 17 for doing the work for him.
Maybe I'll get a promotion for this.
Yeah, he says he's going to take all the credit. And Goku's like, come on, man, that's cold.
What the hell? And he's like, maybe I'll send you a thank you letter. Maybe I won't. No, definitely I won't.
Definitely not going to.
And then he leaves.
So he leaves with
Jocko's a real dick, man.
Yeah, he leaves with the ship attached to it. 17 decides to accept Goku's offer because he basically sees it as paying a debt to him.
Pretty much.
And he's like, hey, it'll be fun. My brother's on the team, right? And
he's like, you have a brother?
dude, I was like...
I know, I thought it was 16 for a second.
Oh. But yeah, he's like, oh yeah, who? Your brother? You have a brother? Yeah, Krillin. Oh yeah, your brother-in-law.
And then we get an explanation of like why brother-in-laws are brother-in-laws. So that's cool.
Yeah, if you were confused about that, this is the episode for you.
Life stories.
So yeah, 17 says, I'm down. Let Trunks and Goten guard the island, which is good. That gives them something to do, and they'd have fun doing that.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what? If I win the tournament, I'll use the Super Dragon Balls to wish for a boat. And first I was like,
a boat? And he's like, this one's cost 3 billion zenny.
5 billion.
Or 5 billion, sorry.
5 or 6.
5 or 6 billion zenny.
It's basically a cruise liner.
But you know what?
The Earth Dragon Balls can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I think we're going to... Like, that's obviously not going to be what the wish is. And even if they don't use the Earth Dragon Balls, Bulma will just buy it for him.
No, we know that Goku's going to get the wish because 17 even asks Goku, what would you wish for? And Goku's like, and he doesn't answer because we're all going to be in suspense to see what Goku wishes for at the end of this arc.
Well, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, besides that, we're very clearly know he's not going to because we can get that so many other ways.
Right. But it's funny because this is really cool. I'm glad this finally happened. 17 says something along the lines of, what is the savior of the world even wish for anyway? And Goku admits,
I never really thought about saving, like, it just kind of happened.
He's like, I've just been in it to fight strong guys, and I just hate it when innocent people and innocent animals are harmed, essentially. It makes me really mad.
So that's good.
I've just, basically all I've been doing is just fighting really strong guys my whole life. Mm-hmm. Goku, for the first time, admitted that he's not
the savior of mankind. Like in his mind,
or not that he's not the savior of mankind,
but it's not on purpose.
Thought of himself that way.
It's not on purpose, even. Like, it's just the way it turned out, and I think that's cool because I think most superheroes that we see in Western culture, or even in comic books, they fancy themselves the hero, and they love being the hero. They sort of like relish in it almost. And Goku's just like, I'm here to
fight strong,
and I have like decent morals.
Yeah,
and I think that is cool.
It was super cool. So yeah, that moment happens, and then kind of what we referred to earlier, he's asking if Krillin's on the team, and Goku kind of gives him a rundown. He even says Majin Buu, and he's like, wait, the guy that you killed with the spirit bomb?
I'm like, yeah, but he's good now.
This one's a good one.
This is a whole story.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
We don't have time.
You didn't mention Gohan, tight.
No, we don't have time because there are 23 hours and 20 minutes left until the Tournament of Power. We're less than a day away.
That time went fast.
Yeah, and that's the episode.
And
I liked it better than the last one.
It was a really good episode. Don't get me wrong. I'm right up there with a 9.
Yeah. I give it a 9.5, 10. I'll go to 10.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it for the episode.
Hit me with a high.
Ooh, my high would be Goku admitting that he isn't a hero.
Yeah.
That moment was very
eye-opening, fulfilling,
dramatic.
It was dramatic.
It was super dramatic. I mean, they weren't intending it to be that way, but it was just like after watching Goku for decades, to finally hear that come out of his mouth was
because
something.
Like it's always been portrayed that way, especially in Japan, obviously, but like it's never actually been said that that's the case. It's just him admitting what it is, and I think if anybody would have just asked him in the first place, that it's exactly what he would have said any time, you know? But nobody even bothers to ask.
Yeah, that's true. We never really gotten that pointed of a reference to him.
And that's
being
like,
the savior.
I like 17 as a character because he just, like, he's no bullshit to him. He just kind of like goes for it. You know what I mean? He just kind of says what's on his mind, and that's what I like about him.
Okay, yeah. So that's my high. My low is that King Kai's planet wasn't blown up.
Oh man,
That's more of a
man.
It's more of a funny low.
That's a good low though. I think it would have been. I think it would like the comedic humor to that would have been so good. Like the surprise party was okay, but like watching that planet blow up again would have been so comical.
Yeah,
I would have lost it.
We know you're low now.
Yeah.
What's your high?
Man, it's actually my other low is the Super Saiyan Blue thing.
Yeah.
It's just cheapened to me after this sort of situation. And I understand why it's not for you, but for me, it's just, it's overplayed when we don't, like, I want to see that in good situations. Like, in situations that are where it's called for.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And that just really wasn't called for me, personally. High?
I almost kind of, before you get into the next high, I almost kind of look at it like he's almost, not that you can, but he's adapting to the form still. So, like, use it whenever you can, kind of like he did with Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
I know it's apples and oranges there, but that's
Yeah.
that's what I can tell myself to not have a problem with it.
That's fair. That just doesn't really make sense to me, but I get it, I guess.
So, your next high.
My first high, actually.
Yeah, first high.
I guess would just be like seeing 17 have like good dialogue, because last episode we got them fighting and had some dialogue between the two, but we had his like actual character come out in this one.
You saw a lot of personality in this episode.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool because I don't know, I just compared it to like what I used to know, and I think his character is still right on point, and I don't think he's like, I think his character has progressed exactly where he needs to go.
Okay.
Another high.
Ooh, you're chock full of them today.
I'm trying to think of one. I don't like, the whole episode was like very, very solid. I can point out a few lows because it's always easier to point out the lows. The 18 and Krillin thing, like you said before, them seeming to know.
Yeah, it just didn't fit.
Well, it's I'm forgetting. It's bad writing, and that sucks. That's just like a one little point out, and that's why the episode's not a 10 for me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go that far to say that it's bad writing.
It's gotta be though. Like, how
because
do you?
Well, we don't explicitly know that they're talking about it in the ominous sense of.
But like, why else would they be nervous about it? They'd be like, these guys are just hanging out. Like, who cares, man?
I think it was because they were sensing their energy going far away. Whether that means
anything at all, considering they can move at the speed of light.
Yeah, but I mean, them going to space is different.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe they were worried that they were going to go up there and not be able to breathe.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Too bad Saiyans can breathe in space, right?
And asteroids.
And on asteroids in space. But yeah, those are really it for me, man.
Okay.
Really, really good episode. It was a really good week for Dragon Ball.
Next week we have Piccolo and Gohan, and the Bang is back.
I'm so pumped. This is gonna be one of my favorite, probably my favorite episode of the series. So no, I can't go that far. Can't go that far. But it's gonna be real high up there for me.
If you guys don't want spoilers for the next episode titles, tune out for the next 45 seconds to a minute on your podcast app, okay? Starting right now. I'm more excited for the Goku versus Gohan episode than the Piccolo Gohan training episode.
I think they're going to go hand in hand, so I think it's okay. I think, well,
the episode I'm talking about, the title is Goku X Gohan, or Goku like versus Gohan, whatever. However you want to put it. Overcome the wall, or conquer the wall, basically. So Gohan's going to be even stronger than he's ever been in his entire life. I'm pumped for that.
I'm pretty sure that's just Goku and Gohan invading China.
But
I'm sorry.
If we have to wait for that, and we're not going to get that next week, like, we're going to get some good Gohan stuff next week, I think we're going to get better Gohan stuff with him and his dad fighting. That's all I have to say.
That's fair.
So
no, I agree. But I think they're going to go hand in hand. And just like these two episodes went hand in hand, and like the two of these episodes as a whole were excellent. And I think it's going to be the exact same for these two. And I'm glad they're splitting them up and not giving us a shortage of this sort of stuff. Like, the Gohan thing, I was so bummed that we weren't going to get it.
But we are.
We are. So I can't complain anymore.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Do you?
No, that's it, man.
You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. All right. Thanks, you guys, so much for listening. Nice little transition there. Thanks for listening. Like us on Facebook. Leave us any feedback, please. Write on our wall. Send us a message. Comment on the link that this podcast is on. Follow us on Twitter. Shoot us an email, universe7pod@gmail.com. We will be back next week to recap and review episodes 16 and 88 of Dragon Ball Super. I am Nick.
And I'm Mason.
Have a great week. Stay safe. And until next time.
Adios.
This podcast is a Hernandez Media production. This episode was produced by me, Nick Hernandez. Any sound clips or music belong to their respective copyright holders. Thanks again to all you listeners out there. We couldn't do any of this without you, and you keep us excited to come back and record every week. We hope you have a great week. Take care, and as always, thanks for listening.
Trouble on my left, trouble on my right. I've been facing trouble almost